What's up guys, Chris the Greek Weeb here with another Fortnite's the Apocalypse discussion video. Now I'm focusing on this one particular topic as the events in the current Leonis arc have been honestly really well done, except for one particular moment, which this actual video was about. And that is Jericho and her confession type deal for Lancelot and why she is with Arthur and her motivations. Now, I don't want to be negative in this video, but I do feel like I need to give my honest thoughts and opinions about this. Address what other fans are saying could potentially be the case for why she's acting like this actually, if this is her feelings or not. And me just giving my grievances on just this decision in general. If you like this, if you don't like this, let me know in the comments down below along with your reasonings. But let's hit the intro and discuss Jericho. So, in the Four Knights of the Apocalypse manga, from chapters 69 through 72, we focus primarily on the Jericho plotline. The reveal that Jericho was the star-visored knight that Lancelot was looking for. And it has been a kind of obvious thing. It could either be Jericho, it could be someone related to Lancelot in some other way. Perhaps they did something to Jericho, etc., considering that it was teased that he doesn't know where his master is. But the reveal of Jericho was honestly really awesome. The fact that she is a traitor to Leonis and Benwick, a traitor to her friends, and a traitor to Lancelot to an extent. And the reveal itself was done really well as she went to execute a prisoner, fought Chion and Jade, and then Gila shows up. This fight was epic and revealed that Gila could actually use the demon blood that was still inside her body after the whole experiments with Hendrickson. That was a really cool thing, and gave Gila a really awesome and somewhat menacing power-up for her, as she does need it, especially now that she's technically like a vice-holy knight captain. And the fight itself was really good, even though it ended with Jericho basically beating Gila and freezing her solid. Lancelot shows up and tries to save the day. The two of them have a relatively back-and-forth-ish fight, but Lancelot asks her why she left. Why she left him and why is she with King Arthur now. And this is the reveal. The fact that Jericho is in love with Lancelot now.
Hey yo, what the f-
Now, it's kind of been like a meme for Jericho haters or just Seven Deadly Sins fans in general, that Jericho had a thing for Bond for the entirety of the Seven Deadly Sins, and by the end of the series, she basically kind of somewhat got over or just accepted the fact that she and Bond won't end up together, and ended up supporting Bond and Elaine for the rest of her life, and trained Lancelot personally as her apprentice. These two have a really good bond, and we saw that from the Lancelot one-shot, and I liked that. I really did like that. But the fact that Lancelot had a crush on his teacher, that's kind of a whole thing that happens in any series. And he would get over it, he'd find the person that he actually ended up falling in love for, etc. But Jericho, her motivations is something that I honestly cannot agree with if you're a normal person. Now, let me say this verbatim. In her heart, her mind, and Lancelot reads it, she says she loves Lancelot as a man. She loves him. Someone that she loved as a brother. She loves him like a man. She wants to fall in love with him, have a life with him. Now, obviously, there's like whole new memes and stuff where, oh, Jericho can end up with Bond, so she kind of decided to go for his son. And well, yes, that is a relatively funny joke. The fact that this is an actual canon thing, that she is going after her former love's child, after basically being there from the moment he was a newborn, it's kind of disturbing, and I don't want to say the word on this video of what it basically paints Jericho as, because I don't want to get demonetized. But, as much as people want to defend this and saying, oh, it's the times, blah, 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 this stuff is common in this particular time period that it's based off of, yada, 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 I already stated with the whole, like, Guinevere thing that the age gap between her and Lancelot isn't super big. It still kind of weirds me out, but I could write that off as we are just going to get this potential relationship in the future when they're both older. Still kind of weirds me out, though. But this just flat out disturbing. And I can't defend this if this is actually what Jericho actually feels. Because she stated that during the 3 years that they were somehow teleported away from the end of the Lancelot one-shot, that was when she started to develop her feelings for Lance. And he was basically turning 13. By the time they left, he was 13, and she was in her 30s. So, I can't exactly abide by this. And it just makes me kind of, I don't know how to describe it. Sick? No, not sick. Honestly, I'm just flat out uncomfortable with this whole situation. I liked Jericho in the 7 Deadly Sins. While I do think that she could have done a lot more in it, she was one of the side characters that got the most screen time and development outside of, let's say, Gil Thunder and, to some points, Hauser. She had her moments, and that's what made her a quick fan favorite for a lot of people. And I enjoyed Jericho as well, to the point where I was like, okay, if Bond can't end up with Elaine, at least he'll end up with Jericho. Obviously, I was still a Bond and Elaine thing because their relationship was kind of sweet and tragic. Still wish that Elaine did not look like, wasn't a lolly though. That's, at least now she's technically old. She does look older from the last time I saw her in the Lancelot one-shot. She does look kind of older. But still, the whole Nakaba's kind of got a weird thing going around with these types of romances that we've all kind of noticed. Hell, the flat out most normal one is probably just King and Deanne. And we haven't even seen them in the Four Knights, and their relationship just didn't really develop all too much. Wasn't really a driving focus. Even Meliodas and Elizabeth, which was just freaking tragedy after tragedy. And Meliodas being a pervert for the whole first major arc of the 7 Deadly Sins up towards maybe the halfway point. I don't know. It's a whole weird thing with the relationships in Nakaba Suzuki. I do enjoy them, but this I'm just kind of, I don't know. Now let me just explain the possibility that this could be written off and the damage to Jericho's character might not be recovered, but won't be as in the mud, especially when the anime does come out. Because remember, the anime has been announced, and we're close to the 80 chapter mark. So when we do get an anime adaptation, chances are this arc, the Leonis arc, is going to be the final arc of the first season, if they're adapted relatively well with a full 24 episode thing. And the Jericho portion, I feel like everyone who hasn't read the manga and is just going to wait for the anime is kind of going to be like, I don't know how to feel about this, or this is just garbage, or something like that. But the main defense is that this has kind of been in the background for how this could be affecting Jericho. Is the fact that Arthur could be manipulating her, brainwashing her, and altered her memories and feelings with the power of chaos to make her the perfect spy. And, yeah, Arthur's basically manipulating her mentally and emotionally using chaos. Now, do I think this comes out of nowhere? Absolutely not. We saw this in this very arc with Gallant and Melascula, with even their memories being altered and stuff like that. But the thing is, with those two, deep down, the more they were being reminded of their previous selves, the more their previous selves kind of fought back against the brainwashing, and it kind of agitated them to the point where they would just get overridden with just kill everything, kill the knights, kill the 7 Deadly Sins, etc. With Jericho, doesn't seem to be the case. Maybe it's because she's human and, well, Arthur is more lenient towards humans and doesn't want her to full on, mentally suffer. But, I don't know. It's a whole thing that I really don't understand. If Jericho betrayed them for a particular reason, even if it was for Lance and not in a romantic way, I would be okay with it. As long as this makes complete and logical sense, I'd be down with Jericho being the betrayer. It's an awesome plot twist and makes sense. It was kind of foreseen, but it's a cool plot twist nonetheless. And I feel like saying that she is in love with Lancelot really sours the mood, sours the moment. And this is built up for a while, ever since Lancelot's introduction, and I just can't defend this whole Jericho having feelings for Lancelot. I know it seems like I'm rambling, but even if Arthur is revealed to be the person that has been manipulating her memories and even her emotions, which is really, really scary in terms of the power of chaos, which makes that whole video I did on the scary potential of chaos even worse, in terms of the story being very threatening, which I'm happy for. But still, just how this whole thing was handled, I just don't like it. I know majority of fans just do not like it from what I've seen. But if you're someone that actually likes this plot reveal or is like leaning towards it, all the power to you. It's just not for me. And I hope that this could be rectified in the future, because I do know we're definitely going to get a Jericho Lancelot full-on confrontation again in the later point of the series. I just hope Jericho gets like redeemed, or her character in a sense gets kind of fixed, because it's kind of like this destroys her character, her credibility, etc. that was developed over the 7 Deadly Sins. Even though it wasn't a big amount compared to like the rest of the main characters, she was the side character that got like the most screen time and development compared to everybody else. Even Hauser, who became the Holy Knight captain, the captain of the Holy Knights in Leonis at this point. But yeah, those are my thoughts and opinions on the whole Jericho reveal, debacle, etc. I don't like it. I like that she is the traitor, that she is the person that helped infiltrated Leonis with Molassie and Galen for King Arthur. I just wish the motive for her betraying them is just really, really good. This was not. And I should mention this because there are going to be people in the comments typing this moment down. Yes, Jericho left. The main reason that she left was because she knew the feelings that she started to develop for Lancelot were wrong. And that's the moment where I'm like, yeah, I don't think Arthur is full on manipulating her. And I liked the fact that Jericho's like, yeah, these feelings are normal, these are bad, I gotta get the hell out of here. For Lancelot's sake, that makes complete and total sense. But still, I just can't just think that anybody with this type of writing, in terms of like actually falling in love with a literal child, is going to be a relatively good character or nothing less than a villain. And no redeeming qualities whatsoever. I don't know. It's a whole big thing. And even though she did originally know that her feelings are bad, even now, it doesn't excuse the fact that she has these feelings, and it's her primary motivation to get a world just for her and a adult version of Lancelot, I guess, which you could say is a good thing, because she wants to be with an older version of him, but it's still weird because she fell in love with the child version of him first. I don't know. I know this is a kind of a negative video, but I just wanted to get my thoughts and opinions out there because I wasn't covering the chapters when this was going on. And this, honestly, something that I really, really wanted to talk about but once I got back, but I kind of like put it off for a little bit. But what do you guys think of the whole Jericho reveal of her being a traitor and her motivation for becoming a traitor? Do you like it? Do you hate it? Do you think there's a possibility that she could be redeemed, or the writing itself can make sense to a point where it's not disturbing or disgusting? Leave your thoughts and opinions down below. And again, if you like this reveal and this plot point, all the power to you. Even if it isn't something for me, I don't really like it. But still, if you enjoy anything, it's perfectly fine. But still, this is kind of weird and I just can't defend it. But if you enjoyed this type of discussion video and you want me to do another thing like this in the future for Four Knights or any other series, leave your thoughts and opinions down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell for updates on future videos. It really does help. I want to continue that grind to 5K subscribers by the end of the year, and I want to do some more Four Knights and even other manga and other series videos that I really plan to do to kind of expand my horizons outside of the chapter review. But with all that said and done, I hope you guys enjoyed this video on the Four Knights and the whole Jericho thing. If you want to see more, let me know. I hope you all have an awesome day.